Hi all and welcome back on board Stark Imoca during Vendee Globe. It's still Friday evening, 22nd of January here, but in Europe time already Saturday morning and weekend. And I'm still really tired of that last week's stress, especially for the last 24 hours, which has been so demanding mentally and physically. And I haven't been able to have naps, sleep. I haven't slept enough, but now, as you can see, the weather has calmed down. It's perfect conditions, so nice, super happy for that. And now I have time to recover 2 days before Cape Horn. I'm also super happy for all of you followers, your comments, your encouraging messages. That gives me loads of extra strength to survive here. Okay, and enjoy your Saturday. All good on board here, and stay tuned. See you soon on board again. Thanks.
Hello Seawolves! Pretty cool stuff, huh? On board of Arja Heusela's boat Stark there. Pretty awesome view, and good to see that he came through all of the crazy weather and is now has time to rest a little bit. So I also had a pretty busy day. I was on the boat working on my new auto steering system, which soon you're also going to see in the first episode of Solo, my kind of educational program here on Seawolves about solo sailing and about all the systems that come into play and kind of, you know, how to optimize your boat for it, and well, pretty much everything to do with the technical side and of course also the intellectual side of solo sailing. So we'll look forward to that, because we have several races ending, so we need some cool, interesting stuff to get started with, and today I was the whole day, working on that stuff. So I just came home, did manage to keep an eye on the news, so let's dive right into it, because it's literally 6:30 here in Amsterdam right now, so I literally have about an hour, maybe hour and a half until you guys are going to see this. So all this, what we're going to talk about, is very, very fresh today. Gitana, of course, so kind of during the show yesterday, right before the show, they had concluded that they were completely abandoning their Jules Verne attempt for now. So unfortunately, that is over.
N'attaquez pas, hein.
Ah, je sais, mais enlevez-moi avant de te passer, j'ai rien.
Ouais, on peut y aller dans les hommes, mais elle est de l'autre côté. Et là, de toute façon, les gars, là, on peut avoir rien à y parler. Donc,
non, là, c'est mort. Ça, c'est. Ça,
voilà.
c'est tout ce qui se passe. Quelle merde.
Ah putain!
C'est les boules, quoi. C'est les boules. C'était bien parti. Et puis voilà, mais bon.
Ça sent pas bon du tout. À terre, ils vont avoir les images, mais on pense avoir cassé une partie de la mèche, ou ce qui tient, ou ce qui tient le safran sur le palier bas, qui a cassé. Donc impossible de réparer cette casse en fait. C'est vraiment la structure du safran. Donc on voit mal le truc là. On est plutôt en train de regarder comment partir dans le nord pour s'échapper du vent fort qui peut venir derrière. Voilà, c'est jamais au bon moment, et c'est toujours super frustrant parce qu'on était quand même bien dans le Rhin. Une météo pas trop mal pour la suite là. Voilà quoi.
On a abandonné cette tentative. On a pris la décision de rentrer pour réparer et on reviendra parce que c'était une belle aventure et on était bien dans le rythme. On avait une belle avance, on avait un Indien qui se présentait bien. C'est une grosse déception évidemment pour nous, pour toute l'équipe parce que ce bateau il a été construit pour ce trophée et c'était les ambitions de notre armateur Benjamin et Ariane de Rothschild d'aller chercher ce record. Donc on abandonne cette tentative, mais on reviendra. On reviendra parce que c'est un magnifique record et qu'on a envie d'aller le chercher avec ce bateau.
Sad to see, but on the other hand, you know, I'm sure they will be back. And we did see that this incredible boat has the potential to still shave a lot of time off of this record. I still think that it was going to be difficult in the Southern Ocean to you know, make such a perfect track, and we did see them lose about 100 miles every day already in the first 2 days before this rudder thing happened. So I'm not completely convinced that the distance would be so large by the end. I think it still would have been you know, much tighter than the 900 miles that they were ahead, but I guess we'll have to wait to the next attempt to find out. And as far as next attempt, right now there is no news really on Sodibu or Gitana, you know, what the plans are or if there's any space still this year for a next event. But if I find out anything, of course I'll be the first to let you know. Then let's talk about the Vendee Globe. Pip injuring herself a little bit on board today, and actually made a video about it. The fact that she strategically, let's say, her boat doesn't have a lot of the speed, the raw speed, let's say, that some of the other boats around her have, and so you know, she's been really sailing very tactically and winning a lot of battles there, but sadly now for her that's kind of over, and yeah, she took some time today to explain a little bit. So let's hop on board of Medallia for a second and check out what she has to say.
Yes, we finally found some breeze and we're making good progress north now, which is amazing. It has been horrendous the last couple of days, just stuck in a hole and watching Stefan come up behind me and Koji and Didak, you know, unhampered. It's hurt a lot, and you know, I'm positive as ever, I'm fighting as ever, but you know, I think there is a bit of readjustment for me to do. You know, the fact is that from here we have pretty much a 2,000 mile drag race through the trade winds, and where I have been able to punch above my weight, where I've been able to make gains, it's all been around VMG sailing, so either upwind or downwind, and tactical advantage. And I think the opportunities for me to leverage those sorts of things over the next 2,000 miles, they're just going to be few and far between. And so I am effectively starting again on a drag race where I have an engine smaller than everyone else. I just, you know, Medallia's awesome and I push her so hard, but you know, straight line fetching and reaching, we can't compete, we just can't. But you know, as much as that is a disappointment for me, and I was hoping that the massive lead that I'd built would cushion me through this time to the finish, you know, I think what's important now is that I carry on putting in the performance that I am proud of, and I carry on, you know, pushing this boat, you know, to, I guess, to a level that I can be really proud of, and that will surprise still. Of course I'm disappointed, of course I am, because you know, the rankings matter, and I wanted to keep my position. but there's so much more to it than the rankings, and yeah, I mean, I'm giving this as much beans as I gave it at the start, but it's just time to sort of readjust my definition of what success looks like, I guess. We'll carry on.
Yeah, so Pip doing okay there, but like she says, she has to be a bit careful, of course, not breaking the boat now in the final stretch to the finish. And unfortunately, it will be much harder within the trade winds for her to really win on speed, because most of the boats in this type of conditions are just faster, and there's no real strategic trickery for this next part of the race to really give her much of an edge. So it's just going to be careful, try to be as fast as possible, but a little bit like what we saw in the beginning of the race, really, when they were coming down to the trade wind. We saw, that frustration with her constantly, slowly falling more and more behind, because the boat just doesn't have the speed that some of the more modern boats have. But hey, it is what it is, and I think we all agree that she's done an amazing job, and who knows, maybe the doldrums will throw a curveball that'll still give her, some tactical stuff to work with. We'll see what happens. Okay, let's dive into the map here. And the situation in front is more or less the same as it was what I explained yesterday. So let me make this a little bit thinner here. So we're still having this in this kind of road here that is kind of the way home, let's say, and we see more or less that everybody's going to kind of stay between there. Now, some might take a slightly, like there's this one little area, let me use a different color here, of some that could be potentially slightly problematic that's developing here. So I would ignore these tracks here, and I would say that the likelihood of them going over this relatively small. I think that the chances are bigger that they're going to go underneath this system instead of over, but I could be completely wrong on that. Here in the simulation, it's kind of saying that they're going straight through. I don't see that happening. I think if I look at what the wind is doing, a kind of a swoop underneath would be more beneficial concerning the wind directions, but maybe it's a good opportunity for a split. So we'll see, kind of like what you're seeing in the screen here. Several people go a little bit more to the east, several people a little bit more to the west, and of course, if they go to the east, they'll have a bit of a harder time coming up. Well, if they go to the west first, then they'll have a bit of a nicer line coming in and potentially more speed, and it might balance itself out quite well. But that's kind of what it looks like right now. And if we look at the prediction as far as distance goes, we see that on Tuesday they're pretty much going to be at the entrance of the Bay of Biscay, or very close to it, and that very likely on Wednesday they're going to get into the bay. So that predicts possibly a Thursday, Friday, maybe Saturday finish. I would say Thursday, Friday at the earliest probably, but that's very close, right? It's literally 5 days from now. So time's getting pretty tough and exciting for the people in front too. Now, as far as the ranking, it still looks razor tight. I mean, they're 30 miles, 60 miles, 90 miles. So they all have kind of 30 or 20 nautical miles between them. So not much space in that sense to go around. And right now I would say that even though Charlie is still technically in position number 1, for my money, I still think that Lewis is in a better position. We can see it also here, where Charlie is kind of heading into some lighter winds, while Lewis has just a bit stronger winds since he's just a little bit more to the north. But hey, we'll have to see what happens. There is, of course, by the way, also the islands here that sometimes can create some wind of their own that they might be able to ride, although I don't know how close they're going to get there. But there might be some small tactical advantages that they can grab there if they see a chance, kind of slingshooting around the island, as the airflow around an island can sometimes be a little bit more compact and a little bit faster. And there is kind of an island right, zooming in the wrong direction. There is kind of an island rather straight in the path of Lewis, at least more or less. So there might be a small opportunity there here to you know, maybe do something around that, although, you know, maybe too risky and just stay a little bit further away. But they might use that, you know, tactically to their advantage at some point. Then let's look a bit more to the spread of especially Jean Le Cam's role, because many of you of course are thinking about the time allotments, etc. And so I would say that right now in the head of the fleet, so we have Boris Herrmann, very likely to maybe win the overall race, since he's very close to the number one anyway, and has a 6-hour allotment. But of course, behind there we have, of course, Yannick also with an allotment, and we have Jean Le Cam with an allotment. And Jean right now is about 500 nautical miles behind. I would say that that is too far. So right now he's a lot more. He's about a day, a little bit over a day behind, so more than 24 hours, probably more than 30 hours right now behind. So that'll be tough to beat, and right now he's certainly not winning the race based on the time allotment. So that's kind of the score on that front. Then behind we see, of course, the battle that I'm very interested in, Maxime Sorel against Armel Trippon, and yeah, it's quite interesting. I think Armel got a little bit closer, and we see now that there is another factor of maybe a little bit luck for Armel heading in there, because we have this kind of path with some lower winds here, as you can see. And so Maxime is about to run into that. And if we run to the predictions, we see that that's pretty much going to stay there. So it's definitely going to slow Maxime down, and of course that'll give Armel a chance to get closer, although they are both going to have to move through there. So it is eventually going to slow Armel down too. But as you can see in the prediction here, again, don't put too much stock in it, but it predicts that over the next 3 days, very slowly, Armel is going to be able to overtake Maxime there, at least according to the prediction data here. So that would mean potentially a 10th place, so a place in the top 10 for Armel in the end, which would be, you know, really cool to see. Other than that, he's doing well. He made a video that he was beating very hard and he was being very careful with the boat, but the resolution of it was so bad that I don't really want to use it in the show. Then we have Clarice Kramer doing very well also. She's not super fast because she is in a bit of a lighter patch and fully beating, so same area where Armel is beating right now, so not the most pleasant of conditions. Then below that we see Romain Athanasio kind of stuck in a wind hole right now, going very slow, giving an opportunity to Jeremy Bijou, who is quickly heading towards the doldrums. And yeah, they are not so far. Let's take a peek at the distance here. So Jeremy Bijou, 19-2, so about 600 miles still behind, not a whole lot. So and we see also that Jeremy was careful to go as far to the west as possible to stay away from the doldrums as much as possible. Let's see what the prediction says. Yeah, it's going to remain quite active, although it is going to be contracting a little bit here as he passes. Well, I would say okay passage. Not really ideal. Once he's in there, it's going to be pretty short. But the road in is going to be pretty patchy and low wind also for Jeremy. So we'll see how much closer he manages to get. But he's definitely going to try, of course, and I think he will gain some minds. So I think by the time that they're both kind of up to the latitude where Clarice is now, then we're going to have a full battle on our hands, you know, between Roman and Jeremy, and good chance, I think, over the long run that Jeremy is going to move up a spot to the 13th place. But I still think that Clarice is too far. So I think that Clarice, he's not going to make it that far. Then we have the group with Pip. And interestingly, something I talked about a few days ago, we see that Kajiro Shirishi, like I said, he is having one of the fastest boats in the fleet, and I was wondering if it would be possible for him to maybe, gain a lot more places still, and he since has. So over the last 36 hours or so, he's moved up 3 places, it seems like. So he actually passed Dida Costa, he passed Stefan Laderijean, and he passed also Pip Hare, and now well on his way, I guess. Again, they don't have a lot of wind there, but so far he has a good 24 hours, 10.8 knots, but that's pretty much similar to, even higher than, what Pip and the rest here are all doing. So he's sailing nicely, and I think that, with a little bit of luck, he might be able to, is likely actually to also overtake Arne Bozeris and Alan Rora, because I think he has less mechanical issues, and Alan of course still has his keel problem. So likely Mr. Kojira is going to actually move up another 2 places, and so go to 15th position. So amazing result actually there, quite unexpected after being way back in the field for so long, but I guess fortune smiling on Kojira right now, and he's doing super well. So amazing chance, I guess, there, and let's see if he holds on to it. Then we have Miranda Marin, and of course we have Clement Girard here, sailing very close together, and as you can see, they're both kind of stuck in the same hole here. So unfortunate, but it is what it is, I guess. And then if we move even further down, we see that we have Ari and Alexa Berrier both now about to pass the Cape. As you can see, we have some pretty intense weather heading for them as they go past the Cape still. Pretty much going to have another 30 knots or so. So Ari has a little bit of respite, as you can see in the video, but there's going to be some more weather coming in their direction. However, as you can see, as they really pass the Cape, that's suddenly quickly going to fall down, and then pretty much when they're at the latitude of the Cape exactly, it's going to be quite tame actually. 10 to 12 knots or so, pretty much as soon as they pass, and then as they go on, it should be pretty calm weather as they pass the Falklands. So pretty nice predictions actually for them. As soon as they really pass the Cape, they should have a nice ride home. And that's it for the prediction today. So thank you all very much for watching. Good news, by the way, about the childhood Seawolf or Seawolf childhood clinic. So we are now officially sold out. So no more spots available. Really cool. 3 days and we sold out the whole thing. So I'm really proud of us Seawolves that we achieved all that. Now it's hoping that the whole Corona thing is not going to develop too crazily in the wrong direction, and that we actually go towards the more freedom again, and that we can actually do this event. But so far I think we're going to be fine. Everything still looks good as far as the predictions for April, and if not, then we will adapt and overcome it in some other way. There is, however, still plenty of opportunity for you to put yourself on the waiting list. So if you're interested, because like I said, maybe we have to move the event, it's still quite far away, so there is still a chance, I guess, that some people might cancel, like that can always happen. So if you're interested, but maybe you're not quite sure about the dates yet, it's a little bit too far away from you, don't hesitate to send an email to contact@seawolvestv.com and have me put you on the waiting list. Just put waiting list Seawolves Childhood, or waiting list Childhood, or waiting list V65, something like that, in the title of your mail, so I can easily see what the topic is about. Happy to put you on the waiting list, and then if a spot becomes available based on how the order that people came into the waiting list, I'll send you an email saying, hey, maybe a spot opened up somewhere. Of course, I hope not, but you never know. And if there's somebody who for whatever reason has to cancel or maybe can't travel, we have quite a few people who are coming from different European countries into it. So if we come to the moment and some can't travel or whatever, then we have a nice list of options to maybe invite somebody else in. So that's also good to know. That's pretty much it for the show today. So thank you all very much again for watching. Look forward to the first episode of Solo coming out soon. I think pretty much right after the Vendee Globe, so maybe the day after the finish we'll do a first episode of that to show you guys some of the different content that I've been working on. And yeah, for the rest, make sure to please give the video a thumbs up and leave some information in the comments are always welcome, and it also helps the YouTube overlords algorithms. And for the rest, I wish you all a very pleasant day. I think I forgot to do the toast, didn't I? It's because I don't have coffee in here, I have water, because I literally just ran in the door and filled it with some water and then thought, okay, I'll just do the toast with water today. So if you were still waiting for this, here we go, 3, 2, 1, see you tomorrow.